Terrible, dude. I can't even imagine. Ok, estamos de vuelta en el casino con Alex, con Farhan. Discúlpenos, el pendejo de yo compartí la dirección del stream y todo el mundo se intentó colar al stream, así que ya estamos de vuelta. Lo siento. By the way, we almost had 6,000 people.
Nice. I texted Alice earlier today. I was like, we're almost at 6,000.
Almost. Fucking A. Okay, let's start with HL. Farhan, you got HL?
I got it pulled up. Let me share my screen.
1 second. I got HL right there, but I'm gonna.
Do you guys know what they do? Like mining? What do they mine? Non-energy minerals?
Non-energy minerals.
What is
like
that?
Gold,
what's the
silver,
point of mining?
other
then?
precious metals. That's what it says.
You guys see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. So right now we're on the weekly. We have lost the 55 EMA. We're trying to get a little bit of a bounce. What I'm looking for is if we can close the weekly over the 38.2% level, which is the blue zone. Like every time the price likes to hold the blue zone, whenever it loses the blue zone, it gets a massive drop. Like you see right here, whenever we lost the blue zone right here, we ended up dropping another like 21, what is that? Almost 23%. So we want to hold this blue zone ideally. Right now we have momentum point to the downside, we have volatility pointed up, and we have the jewel about to give us a sell signal. It hasn't given it yet because we're at support right here at this yellow slow moving average. If we lose the slow moving average like we did right here, it's almost certainly going to flip to a sell signal. And once we get a sell signal above the 50, that's the ideal type of short signal you want to look for. At that point, I would target these lows right here around the 88.3%, which is around $3.88. But right now we're looking for this 38.2% to hold. Let's go to the monthly. The monthly is in a little bit of a consolidation zone, like within the past from April. It's been consolidating right here. It's been holding this 200 SMA. Right now, it's finding a little bit of support at this 200 SMA, which is still above this blue zone. Like on the monthly, it's been holding the blue zone. The blue zone right now, the price is at $4.30. But as long as we hold this 200 SMA, we still have 25 days to go. So anything could happen until then. But as long as we hold this 200 SMA, I would say that we're consolidating for the move up. The second we lose that 200 SMA, which is around like $4.69, I wouldn't even wait for a monthly closure. I would wait for like a weekly closure below here, and I would say that the weekly is going to bleed into the monthly, and then we're going to go down from there. But on the opposite end, on the monthly charts, we have momentum pointed up and we have volatility pointed up, with giving us a buy signal on the jewel above all of the moving averages.
Oh, wow.
So statistically, we would expect this to hold, but I would not take any trades here. Like, in my opinion, taking trade based off of just indicators alone is very stupid. It's like you're not exactly gambling, but you're very close to gambling. Because price action comes first, indicators are second. Right now, we're getting a very nasty candle to the downside right now. So I wouldn't do anything here. I would wait for the next weekly close. If we still hold this 200 SMA, at that point, I would say that we could possibly take a simple long at that 200 SMA with our invalidation being a close below it. And then at that point, I would target this rejected high right here. I would at $6.98. I would close half here, and then I would set my stop loss somewhere around this 55, which is currently at 482. It's probably going to close above, go up after the next close. Set my stop there, and then if it holds that area, then I would be comfortable saying that it's going to retest these highs. But right now, based off how the weekly looks, I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is going to this 200 is going to lose it on the monthly, and then we're going to flip from here to a neutral signal. But right now, until that happens, we have to assume that it's consolidation. And if we switch to the other chart, the RSI, see if we have any divergences. That gives us a clear picture. Because we can see how much momentum is in the asset versus the buying pressure.
HL.
Yeah, HL. So right now we have some bearish divergence in the weekly. We've hit the easy target, which is the middle zone. The middle zone was at $5.12, and now we're healthily below it. And on the jewel right here, we're on a neutral signal. The next easy target after this is if we keep closing like this and we do not reclaim the 200 SMA, we have to target the bearish control zone, which is currently at $3.74. And let me see if it marks like one of these previous lows. It's right here with this zone right here. Let's draw a horizontal meme line. Right here is where we have the meme line. Let's draw a meme line where we can invalidate that. If we get a close anywhere above here, though, I would say the downward move is invalidated, and we're going to move from there. But based off of this bearish divergence and this jewel signal, we're most likely gonna reject from this 200 SMA and go down to over here. Let's see if there's any divergence in the monthly. Monthly, there is no divergence, but we're getting a very ugly candle. We're currently losing every single major moving average. So the daily. Yeah, daily right now is healthily in the bearish control zone. Let's see last time we went to last time we went to the bearish control zone, we were there from January until February. So we were there for more than a month into the bearish control zone, which tells us like usually stocks move very, very slow. So we can consolidate there for a good amount of time, and then these levels will move up. But right now, the bearish critical zone level is at $3.54, which is the same number that we saw before on the weekly. Whenever we get like multiple time frames lining up to the same target, it usually gives you a high probability of targeting that zone. At this area, I would not feel comfortable shorting. If I was a very aggressive trader, I would open like 1/4 size here. But here's the zone I would look at shorting, right here at the 200 SMA at $5. And then you would set your stop loss at any daily close above that, and you would have a minimal loss. But your next target would be down here at the $3.71 range. You'd expect a little bit of a bounce here, but based off this, the HPDR, I don't think that's going to hold. Like, I'll switch back to the HPDR and show you the next level. The beauty of the HPDR is because it works off of stats. You don't need to have previous price action. It'll give you like the data even if you don't have the price action there.
Wow.
That's
why it's $8 billion.
Yeah, that's why this is my favorite indicator of all time. If I had to choose only one indicator to use, I would only use this one.
Yeah. It's very useful to see like how the price dances around all of the levels and like within the blue line when you get like the different go ahead.
At first it can be a little complicated because you see all these colors.
Yeah.
But once you learn how the colors works, like it's a game changer.
I agree. At first, I was completely overwhelmed by looking at it. Now I see it, and I semi understand it, so I feel much better about it.
So yeah, that target, if we lose that previous low, is around $2.75. Around there, I would feel comfortable longing because by statistics, we only have a 1% chance of continuation from there. So then you have more of a probability that you would retest these rejective highs versus going lower. And you would set your stop loss right there. If you close below 275 on a daily basis, you would just cut it. Okay. Which would give you like more of a chance. Like what is this percentage range? From here back to this rejective, this is like 60%. On traditional markets, that's insane.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
And you would probably, because it's a refill of this gap, you'd probably get it very quickly too. You'd probably get it within the next month, 2 months. And on stocks, 2 months for 60% move is unheard of.
Yeah.
But if we do get this weekly jewel to confirm a sell signal, though, I would not feel comfortable taking that trade. If we do get that, I would short it, but I would not feel comfortable taking it.
So you're just just waiting to see if on the weekly you get on top of the if you can go towards the 100 or the 21 or the 9 or anything, because right now you're below them. So most likely, if you close below 469, basically, everything is fucked. And if you close above that, you want to make sure that you retake control of these EMAs and SMAs. Yeah.
And right here before we had a silver cross to the upside, but you see that we closed below 55. So now that it's invalidated. So now that means nothing. If we can close back above the 55, it would come back into play, but that's about at $5, which right now it doesn't seem likely to me based off of the momentum indicators. The only I would feel more comfortable with this as being a bounce zone if we had a bullish divergence in the RSI, but right now there is no bullish divergence at all. We want to see at the minimum bullish divergence on the 4-hour before we can say that it's going to reverse from here.
Okay.
Because that tells you that sellers are running out of steam. We don't have that right now. Sellers have more steam than buyers.
Excellent.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
1 second. I'm just putting this thing up. I didn't realize that I didn't put any of the stupid shit that I was supposed to do. Fucking doing an excellent job over here. Hey, it's Monday. What do you want from me? It's too early.
On the hopium side, though, Bitcoin has reclaimed the 5 EMA on the 4-hour. Which has been resistant since 65K.
It's pretty good.
Full disclosure, though, I'm looking for a short around 56.
Yeah, of course. 100%. 100%. Around 50. Wait, why 56? Oh, because this is where. Okay, I see.
Yeah, I have a meme line right there.
Yeah, I see. Okay. Okay, I was looking at HL, but then I got distracted by this. Okay, let me do this. I'll be right back. Estamos viendo HL, que era lo que nos habían preguntado. Discúlpenme antes de tener la interrupción que tuvimos. Estamos viendo el gráfico de dónde viene y a dónde va, damas y caballeros. Rápidamente, y antes de ponerles todo esto y confundirlos, bastante sencillo. Vas básicamente, o ibas más bien, en una tendencia alcista sabrosa, rompes a la baja, y esto es básicamente lo que queremos que veas, ¿ok? Cuando te prendo esto, estás en la diaria justamente topándote con el SMA 200. Si no puedes retomar esto hoy, esto no se ve bien y pinta que vas a tener camino para abajo. Si puedes retomar esto, vas a venir a hacer un retesteo del 511, pero tienes que ver exactamente cómo te va con él. Y también se va a juntar junto con el SMA 100, que es el 524, que probablemente vaya a ser una buena resistencia. Aquí hay una buena oportunidad de short con una buena invalidación corta arriba de esto, por si están interesados. Pero esto se ve más como a la baja que a la alza. Y si te esperas a llegar probablemente y ser rechazado acá, te quieras esperar al siguiente nivel que está por justamente acá, en los 333, donde tienes una muy buena posibilidad de hacer un rebote de 60%. Es básicamente HL. What was the other one? Oh, Dutch Bros. Do you what the fuck is Dutch Bros? I always forget. Is it the home builders?
No, it's like that. It's coffee. It's kind of like it's like Starbucks essentially. Actually, they recently IPO'd too. I remember that.
Did they?
Yeah, recently, meaning like in 2021.
Got it. I'm looking at it right now. Dutch Bros. Interesting. We got rejected off the 41, 47 level that I had.
Yeah, I have 41.50 on that.
And then coming down, it seems like it's getting above the EMA 100 on the daily, but SMA 200 is at 31.79. It's making higher lows and higher highs right now. It's about to break this important zone on the 33.91.
Dutch Bros isn't looking, at least on the monthly, it's not looking the worst. Actually. All right, perfect. So yeah, my trade here, this is Dutch Bros on the monthly. Right, this is basically right around the IPO essentially. So here we have a range. We see on the monthly, it rallied right into resistance. I have the same area around that 41.50 being the first resistance, and then there's kind of in a range here. Top of the range is at 43.23. And so this has been strong resistance, though. You can see the rejection here. And this monthly rejection is very strong. I mean, rallied up to it, closed very badly, and then lost to 9. And we basically were just below it ever since. The nice welcoming part that I see here with Dutch Bros is, on this low here, the monthly did break the 9, but the difference here is it quickly got lost. And then it got reclaimed, and then it got lost again. One welcoming sign here, at least, that we see currently, and granted, there is still 25 days left on this monthly. What I see here is, for now, I see we broke out, and it was a nice breakout, and we even broke this wick high here. So that gave us more fuel, in my opinion, to go higher. And then, we saw the follow through. We haven't really seen that many times on coin after it gets above its monthly EMA 9. You can argue here it did it, right? Got above it, got the expansion, and then the third candle was the big deviation, I guess. And for a stock, I mean, that was a big monthly downturn. That was like 14.6%. So massive move down. But essentially what we see now is the breakout. This candle held. It changes things in my head because, you know, the third candle, even though it closed red, we still held the 9. And then now we got actually a reaction straight down to it. Currently sitting at $34.36. So, you know, buyers stepped up, and it's been an impressive bounce since from hitting that. You know, we bounced 6.5%. Now, like I said, though, the monthly has a long ways to go, but as it stands, it's looking great, especially since breaking this high here. To me, this looks potentially like a monthly uptrend forming. And we just see that, right? I mean, the high, the higher low, the higher high, the higher low, the higher high, and then potentially the higher low exactly where we'd want it to basically form, right around that $34 to $33 region, in my opinion. Let's go to the weekly here. Just out of curiosity, you can see here also the monthly 20 EMA 21 also lined up perfectly with that EMA 9, just giving more confluence essentially to that being a major level on price. So if you're looking at this, you know, asset Dutch Bros as essentially like on a long-term view, I would just view the monthly then. And, you know, the price hasn't had a lot of data above the monthly EMA 9, but most of it's been under it. So holding it as support, you know, could be welcoming news. It could be something like if you have a long-term investing strategy, could be something. I don't know anything about the fundamentals though of Dutch Bros, just chart-wise. So then let's go to the 5-day, right? We'd assume if the monthly is looking good, probably the 5 days as well. And the 5-day is looking good. Again, bounce that major support here at the 5-day EMA 100, now healthily above the EMA 21. The big level here for bulls, in my opinion, will be getting simply above this meme line here at $38.16. In my opinion, if we can get back above $38.16, $38.50, that could give us fuel to easily presume the rally, and we'd assume then that this was the higher low, meaning that this high here will probably break. You know, and if this does break, then we'd look here at this wick high, even though it was big. That is where I would look personally. Not in one go, of course. We'd probably take it from, you know, right here and then just see where the range is, but that still gives you a nice move to 47.20. So overall, the trend is up. Dutch Bros is looking good. Even on the daily here, it bounced exactly where we would expect it. Had we lost this daily EMA 100, and we still might, we still have this daily SMA 200 lining up. You know, still giving us nice confluence at this $32.50, $33 area. Should hold a lot of confluence of why this area should bounce for Dutch Bros. And then also even the daily showing us, yeah, nice resistance right around, you know, that $38 region, $37.50 area. So if you're bullish, you definitely expect us to get back, you know, above $38 and hold it. You know, an easy sign to just say that this is probably going to move a lot more is when price can get the daily closures above the EMA 9 and then the EMA 21. When price can get steadily above that, it's basically constitutes nice moves up, impulses. So here we see it, retested it, held it, and then it was kind of for the races here. So ideally, Dutch Bros is looking good. You just want it to really watch that $38 region. If it can break it and hold it and then base it as support, probably good momentum and more fuel on why this could be another higher low in the chart, because we have to respect the trend.
Yeah.
And then we'd look to possibly that high that basically we formed, you know, right at like July 9th would probably break.
Thank you, sir. All righty. Aquí está. ¿Cómo se llama? Dutch Brothers. Aquí lo tienen, damas y caballeros. Lo voy a poner en la mensual para que vean lo pequeña de la información que tenemos acá. Pero dentro de todo bastante bien. Podemos ver cómo literalmente conecté esto junto con esto en una tendencia alcista, creando bajos más altos y altos más altos. Ya obviamente pasando esta zona bastante bien, apoyándose en el EMA 9, apoyándose el EMA 21 y en esta zona de precio en los 33.85 más o menos. Entonces, si nos vamos rápidamente a la semanal, porque la mensual se ve bien, la semanal se sigue viendo aún mejor. Estamos en este momento recargándonos y apoyándonos por completo y rebotando a la alza en el EMA 100, pasando el EMA 21, y ahora vamos a ir a buscar el EMA 9, que está por aquí de los $38. Nada mal. Cuando lo ponemos en la diaria, te puedes dar cuenta rápidamente que es un poco de la misma historia. Básicamente, poder romper este nivel de acá es esperarte a ver cómo te va contra esto. Si puedes romper hacia arriba en el 38.70 y el 37.93, muy probablemente vayas a ver nuevos altos. Esto está en una tendencia alcista por el momento, por más que se vea que se ha doblado, no está rompiendo absolutamente nada de la estructura. Y es cosa de ver cómo se comporta el precio contra estos exponenciales moving average o los simples. Okay, let me go all the way to the top. AMD. Who wants to do AMD? I'm sorry, Farhan, you're muted, but I'll unmute you. Nope, still muted. There you go.
Unmuted now?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. AMD. Advanced Micro Devices. You know, back when I first got into computers, when I started building computers, I didn't want to spend a lot of money. And back then, AMD was the budget option. Now it's flipped. Now it's flipped because after AMD launched their higher performance processors,
yeah,
they significantly increased their prices.
Well, it's not working out great for their. How long ago did they do this?
They did that back in like 2021, like mid 2021.
Oh, so it might be working still, but it's fucking turning around.
But the way I'm looking at it right now on the weekly is that we had this range from around like January until like July of 2024. We were holding this range. We deviated above it.
You're not sharing your screen.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, you're right.
Let me steal that from you. There you go. And here we go.
Yeah, so we had this range right here from January until July. We were holding it. We deviated above it. We deviated below it. We touched it again, and now we're significantly below it. The difference between here, whenever we closed below it, is we had like 1, 2, 3 closes below it, 4, and then we quickly reclaimed it. Right now, we've gone so much below it that reclaiming it doesn't seem like a possibility for by the end of this week.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we're below every single major moving average other than the 200.
Yep.
Last time, ever since this rally started, we've been above the 21 and the 55. We had a silver cross right here. When the 21 and the 55 crossed, we went up from $82 all the way up to, what is the price here? Like $200 something. Now that we've lost the 55, this silver cross is invalidated. If we go to the momentum oscillators, right now we have volatility pointed down. We have momentum kind of sideways. We have no signal of momentum right now. We'll see after this weekly close where momentum goes. But what gives us the signal that momentum is probably going to flip to the downside is the jewel right now is giving us a fresh sell signal right here. Not only is it giving a sell signal, but it's pointed almost vertical to the downside, like you see right here. And I'll mark a vertical line right here, and we'll see what happened with price action when it was pointed like that. We did it right here.
Okay.
When price action was right here, it corrected down to the 55. The difference is right now we're already below the 55. So we had how much of a percent drop?
That doesn't seem crazy.
It was about 20%.
That is crazy.
20% seems like a lot, but you have to remember, at that point, we were above the 55, so we can find some support there. Right now, we don't have that support. The only support we have possibly is the 200 SMA, but if we were to drop 20% from here, from this open, that would put us right around that 200 SMA. That's the only hopium I can see right now for bulls. If they can hold this 200 SMA, and from here, I still don't think it'd be up only. I think if they hold this 200, it'll go sideways from here like this, maybe test this line, reject it, go back, make a higher low, and I think it would go sideways for maybe like 3 or 4 months at the very least, because we have a very significant loss of market structure right here. Whenever we see this, the best thing we can hope for is consolidation, and then up from there. Worst case scenario is that we're going to retrace this entire move and go back down to the 100% range, which is currently at $57. And that is how much of a percent? I believe like 80% from here. I'm not good at numbers like that. 51% from here. which is still nothing to scoff at traditional markets.
Nope.
Go to the monthly. Monthly right now is still holding the 21 EMA. We're at the blue zone right now. Whenever we're in an uptrend, we like to hold the blue zone right here, as you can see. We tested down to the bottom of the blue zone. We tested the bottom. Right now, we're holding the bottom of the blue zone. The hopium is on the same level on the monthly. Is if we hold this $141 level or $140.57, it will confirm this as local low, and then we can retest this median. Even at that point, we will still have a lower high because the median is at $179, and our previous high is at 227. At that point, we would still have a lower high, and we would not be bullish yet. We would be looking for a short. And on the monthly, we have a fresh sell signal right here. Let's mark on vertical lines. This is the weekly, so I'll delete this. We had it right here and right here at the same zone. Every time, what happened with price? First time we had it right here, price corrected down to the 55. How much of a move down was that? 61%.
Holy balls.
We had it right here. This one was not as significant, but it was still a pretty big move. It doesn't look that bad because I have my chart on logarithmic, which it doesn't make it look as bad as linear. But that was still a 30% move down.
That's still pretty bad. And
we were still above every single major moving average at that point. Right now, the only major moving average we have to hold support is currently the 55 EMA, which is around like $103. It's going to go up with the next close, but it's probably not going to go up above the 61.8% level, which is at 112. Like the best case scenario I could see is that for the bulls, it goes up to 112. They come down to it. This momentum oscillator resets like where it was down here, where it found a low when the momentum was at extremes. If they hit this level, it's at 112. It hits extremes. At that point, I would say that you could probably like 70% chance you could take a long there, and your stop loss would be any close below the 55. But while this jewel is on a sell signal, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that. I would want to see the jewel start to flip back up. We're at the slow moving average right now, and it doesn't look like we're finding any support as long as we're below this 21, and we still have 25 days to go, which is a long time. If we hold this 21, then this support will hold. Maybe in the next like 2 months we can flip to a neutral signal and then flip to a buy signal. But it's like I said before, like the best case scenario for bulls right now is sideways. What the bears want to see is they want to see the 21 lose. If we lose that 21 at that point, this sell signal will lose this yellow line, this slow moving average, and then we're going to move towards the bearish control zone. The bearish control zone lines up with the 88.3% level, which is right now at $86. And that gives us,
crap.
You would minus this 88.3 with 100. So that gives us like, what is that? Like 11.7%? 11.7% chance that it bounced from here. There's an 80.
It bounces down?
That it bounces and it goes up from there.
Oh, got it. Okay. So you're basically 11, like 10% against 90.
Yeah. You have an 88.3% chance that we're going to go down to this 200 SMA, which is at currently lower than $40.
Holy shit.
It rises with every monthly close. But how many months do you think it would take before the market actually capitulates and we go down? Like maybe it goes up here to 43.50, maybe. But it's not looking good right now on the monthly. The last hopium I could have possibly is showing the quarterly, which last time I checked, quarterly was looking really good. But now we're getting a rejection of every single support zone on the quarterly. Right here, this should have held the support. We rejected that. We retested it. We rejected it. We tested this 38.2% level, this blue zone, which we held every single time on the monthly uptrends. We're still holding it. So that's still hopium for the bulls that we're holding that zone. Momentum is crossing down while the jewel is still on a buy signal. But the jewel is approaching resistance right here. And that lines up with the previous weekly chart, where if the jewel rejects right here at resistance on the quarterly, then at that point, I would say like the cycle top is probably in for AMD right now, and we're going to go sideways and down for the next year, maybe a year and a half before we can base and go up again. And that also lines up with NASDAQ. If you guys have seen NASDAQ, where NASDAQ is putting in a very huge top candle. And AMD is as you see right here, AMD is very heavily weighted towards the NASDAQ. So AMD is going to follow the NASDAQ, and NASDAQ is looking really bad. NASDAQ had the worst day it's ever had in one day since March of 2020 in the COVID crash. So the best hopium is that we can hold this area and bounce from here. But if I was a betting man, which I am a betting man, I would bet that it's not going to hold.
So what you're saying is we're gonna go long AMD.
Yeah, 100x leverage.
That's what I got out of it. Put the house on
it. Oh, thank you so much, dude. Ahí les va, bastante sencillo. Un poco estábamos viendo la semanal, la mensual. Hemos visto cómo AMD está en una clara tendencia alcista. No creo que nos falte mucho para poder ver eso. Lo que sí es que en la mensual podemos empezar a ver esto. Hemos perdido el EMA 9 y cada que perdemos el EMA 9 tenemos unas correcciones bastante buenas. Lo pueden ver por aquí. ¿Hasta cuánto? De 54%. Y de ahí volviste a retomarlo y cuando subiste estás hablando de que subió un 190%. ¿No? Y en este momento lo tienes perdido, lo que eso te pone, si se vuelve a repetir la historia de nunca acabar, en 60%, te lleva a esta línea de los 58 dólares, lo que probablemente nos diga que vas a visitar esto y sobre todo viendo el S&P 200 que está en los 33 y cada cierre vaya a subir, probablemente lo ponga por acá. Ahora vamos a la semanal rápidamente en AMD. ¿Cómo se ve AMD en la semanal? Acabas de perder, estos niveles ya se perdieron. El EMA 9 semanal y el EMA 21 semanal están perdidos. Cada que los pierdes, por ejemplo, aquí arriba puedes ver qué tanto es la caída. De acá, otro 60%, digo, es idéntica a la pasada, para que tengas una buena idea. Entonces, de acá para abajo, un 60% te pone de nuevo en esa misma línea, el 58.21. Ahorita tu esperanza y la esperanza para todos los alcistas es que el precio venga y haga justamente esto, que el precio suba, probablemente caiga y rebote en esta zona. Si rebotas en esta zona en el S&P 200, bien, tienes que empezar a retomar estos niveles. Si no pasa ninguna de esas cosas, prepárate para que AMD coma potentemente, ¿ok? Ahora, la diaria no se ve tan bien, digamos, ¿por qué? Porque literalmente has perdido el 200, el 100, el 21 y el 9. Estás intentando ir a retestear el 9, que está en 140, pero el precio está en 173.73. Lo que muy probablemente, y lo que nos hace ponernos en la hipótesis de que esto va para abajo. Así que pongan sus objetivos para abajo, no se ve nada bien AMD en estos momentos y estamos esperando cualquier cosa entre... cabrón, espérame, perdón, no sé por qué estoy pintando eso. Estamos esperando cualquier cosa entre los 93 y los 58.21, que es probablemente a donde el precio va a seguir, porque has perdido todos los niveles importantes. Así que eso es AMD. What about New?
New Holdings. I remember that one.
It's Warren Buffett's.
First time I ever heard of this was from this stream when somebody asked us about it.
Yeah. I don't know why this is one of those things that, you know how there's like a group of people that people follow in English?
Yeah.
There's got to be a group of people in Spanish that people follow in Spanish that has like some stuff. Because
what I want to know right now is if Warren Buffett is still holding this, because he sold 50% of Apple. So why would he still be holding this?
Well, this is a Brazilian bank, an online bank, I think, and the capture of users, because a lot of people in those countries, like in Mexico too, they don't have a bank account. They all manage cash.
Oh, I see.
So once these online banks came out, and specifically in third world countries, they fucking kill.
They have no choice but to use it.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, this is what I'm thinking we're seeing right now. Let me share Alex's screen. Here we go.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, New Holdings looks interesting on the monthly. Big rejection after it made that high at $13.64. And then currently we just we even lost the monthly EMA 9 there for a minute, almost hit the EMA 21, right around $9.12 is where it's at. We made the low at $9.70. And so now what I see currently is very impressive bounce in the monthly. You know, dirty in the sense that it didn't bounce exactly where we wanted it to at all. Went a lot lower, almost hit this 21, but nevertheless still an impressive bounce. And so right now we're currently at support, which is right around $10.83 on the monthly. I drew this on stream, actually, this chart, and this $10.40 to like $10.80 cent region is going to be support. That's the area we want new holdings to hold. And the monthly has 25 days, so essentially, as long as it can base and hold and get above this on the monthly, this looks nothing more than just a big correction, but nothing's wrong with structure overall on the monthly is what I see, as long as it's holding this 9 here. And you can see here big dumps go into it, but it always pulls through and holds above. So that's kind of what bulls want to see now for this monthly. Let's check it on a weekly. Now let's go to the 5-day, and the 5-day is telling a different story. You can see new's been kind of in this range on the 5-day. You guess I could call this a fake breakout. Big deviation here. And so currently, as it stands, this 5 days closing in about a day. So in 1 day, 4 hours. You really, in my opinion, wanted to at least hold this range at $10.47. Where it looks bad though on the 5-day is just essentially, in my opinion, I think that this was the last higher low on the 5-day, and so on this wick low, it basically it broke it. To me, it's a sign of weakness. It's something I note mentally, especially when I see here that even though on this dump here it fell into support, kind of where we're at now, we still have to not disregard the fact that it was still holding, right? Just like on our last stream, I talked about. I like using the 9 and the 21. Oftentimes we lose the 9, but the 21 often acts as support after we lose the 9. Now, if we go and lose the 21 and the 9, that's where we can get those trending big moves down. So the difference between here and here is we're now healthily below both on the 5-day, which isn't a good sign. It just ties into the fact that this, was a failed SFP. I mean, or a deviation, if you call it that. Deviation because you basically based out of here, broke out, it flipped this into support, had a nice move, but then it failed to hold it, leading to a big dumpola. And so that's why on this 5-day, there's weakness on it, which to me can signal that maybe the monthly doesn't close as strong, but that's still something that we want to look at. And nevertheless, it is in a bounce zone region. So, we'll see where this 5-day closes. If it closes under the 21, I would then assume that is going to be the next resistance, probably, another bounce to start the next 5-day closure. But then I'd be looking at that $11.80 region potentially to be resistance, kind of like what I mentioned on the monthly. It's a big level overall. So if the 5-day can get back above there, it'd look a lot better. It'd look better. This would look then like a failed breakdown. It's reclaimed the area that it's like to basically hold every time we've pushed up. But until then, we have to assume that, this is just the beginnings of a potential breakdown, even though the monthly is looking good.
Look at the daily, though.
Yeah, so the daily, and it's just like a lot of things right now. You're seeing on the daily, a lot of things broke down really hard and lost extremely big levels. But the difference here is we need to get actual closures. So as the daily stands, we did lose the daily EMA 100. It still signals to me we need to mentally note the weakness of the chart, but it's still not an entirely big death sentence per se. And that's what I was saying with the monthly. But the issue with the monthly is it has so much time. So on the daily, as I see it, this daily EMA 100's been nice support. Losing it's not a good sign. And we would expect this daily SMA 200 to give some kind of reaction. So now the question will be for bulls, are they going to reclaim it? If they can reclaim this, it's like that's the first step. The second step, in my opinion, would be to hold this. If it can hold that and base it on support, it probably gives us momentum to test this big level for new. The EMA 100 on the daily lining up nicely with the 9. Along that area is that meme line resistance right around $11.80. If we can get daily closures above that, I'll be convinced that this has a lot more fuel to go up. But until then, on this chart, we have to just be slightly cautious, especially since it's slightly breaking down. And this daily still has three hours to go. So, we'll see where it closes. Currently, the daily estimate 200s at $10.46. Welcoming sign that it's above it, but we'll see where it closes, because that's really all that's important, especially if we're viewing a daily.
Yeah.
Let me go to the 4 hour here.
And right now, to add on to your point, on the weekly, there is bearish divergence on the RSI.
And the 4 hour tells a nice story too. I don't like using the SMA 200 on the 4 hour, but if we just focus on the EMA 100 on the 4 hour, it tells a nice story. After price lost that, right? It was, price doesn't like to lose it for too long, and then once it gets reclaimed, it likes it to hold it as support, basically supporting the rallies up. Now, once we lost it on this 4 hour, you could see the flip. So like this, then the 4 hour EMA 100 lined up perfectly with this meme, top of the meme resistance, essentially, if you're taking this as the range here from 1180 to 1223, 1230, $12.30. But then you can see here it perfectly flipped that into resistance, falling below, and then even flipping the meme line into resistance before we got the breakdown. So on the 4 hour, it's not looking good. And I just, again, it ties into, we need to watch that $11.80 region as a potential rejection zone. If we can start getting closures above, good. It starts rebuilding some structure that might bleed into that monthly closing good, giving the weekly maybe that a trap for bears. But until then, yeah, I see weakness, and that's something we need to, just be cautious, mentally note it, have our levels, and see the reactions. Whatever happens, happens. And the beautiful part about this chart is it's at a level where where you're wrong and if you're right, because there's so much confluence in that $11.80 region that it makes it easy to trade it if you trade something like that.
Yeah, no doubt. No, thank you so much for that. Totally on the same boat as you. Alrighty, ahí les va. Estamos viendo New Holdings en este momento, como lo presentó Alex, simplemente empezando desde la mensual, podemos ver básicamente este movimiento que habíamos visto antes, lo que nos hace ver como una cierto patrón de tasa y ¿cómo se dice? Y agarradera, ¿no? Aquí. Pero este flashazo para abajo nos muestra un poco de debilidad. Déjenme, simplemente prendo mis indicadores para que vean. Este es el EMA 9, que es del que se está agarrando el precio en este momento, está en los 10.83 y tenemos el 21 en los 9.12, pero esto es la mensual, queremos ver en mejores temporalidades. Vamos a la semanal. El gráfico semanal nos cuenta un poco más de esta misma historia, pero tienes una vela de tope aquí arriba y luego tienes esta caída instantánea. Puedes ver que al precio le gusta estar por encima del 9, cada que pierdes el 9, y puedes ver acá la caída, estás hablando del 64%. Lo volviste a ganar aquí. ¿Cuánto te llevó para arriba? El 9, una vez que lo tomaste acá hasta acá, un 200%. Así que pueden ver que le gusta estar encima del 9 y del 21. Aquí está el 21 también, lo acaba de perder. Y aquí abajo tienes el 100. Sobre todo en la semanal, eso me dice que muy probablemente, y sobre todo porque este es un gran nivel, pueden ver acá todas las cosas que pasan por acá. Este es un nivel importante para el precio. Muy probablemente tengamos un poco de esa dirección. Pero cuando lo ves en la diaria, puedes darte todavía más cuenta de esto. Puedes ver acá cómo llegaste al tope, lo flipaste, cómo perdiste el EMA 9, el 21 y empezaste a caer fuerte. Además de que acá veniste a intentarte apoyar del EMA 100 en la diaria, que se perdió, y en caída libre y como gorda en tobogán hasta abajo. Ahora, el SMA 200 en la diaria está justamente en los 10.46. Hay mucha confluencia aquí. Básicamente, lo único que estamos esperando es que este nivel aguante. Los toros quieren que este nivel aguante y tener un cierre encima del SMA 200 acá en los 10.46, 10.49, que es esta área bastante importante para el precio. Si no aguantamos, muy probablemente el precio vaya a continuar cayendo en New Holdings. No se ve mal el gráfico, pero también empieza a demostrar, y esto es algo que decía Alex, bastante debilidad y algo que tienes que tener en mente si es que este es tu gallo para las apuestas. ¿Ok? Vale. Rivian. Who wants to do Rivian?
I will do Rivian.
You can never do too much Rivian, apparently.
Right? It's the best stock. It's the best stock in all of the market.
Rivian.
I know a lot of stocks. It's the best one.
I've been watching. Have you guys been seeing the guy on X that I think he's like on Cameo? You send the money and then he talks like Donald Trump and makes a video for you.
Yeah, I think I've seen a few people like that.
I want to learn from that guy because he's got like a very comedic, not realistic voice, but that sounds really much easier to do than the real Trump voice. Because the Trump one, I just can't get it.
Even your Trump impression is way better than mine. Mine is dog shit.
It's hard, dude. Every now and then we'll get it right, but it's just fucking hard. I don't understand why I can't keep the momentum going with my impression.
It seems easy, but it's much harder than it actually is.
Yeah. Bitcoin. What a coin. No, I don't know. I need a fucking.
You know, Alex knows about this because I sent him the screenshot. But back in 2023, before Trump actually won the nomination, one of my friends, he's a huge fan of Trump. So he was telling me, he was like, right now they're offering it that you can meet him in Mar-a-Lago for $100,000. He's like, you want to go 50-50 on this? And I was like, bro, there is not a single person on the planet that I will pay $50,000 to meet.
To meet? That's ridiculous.
Not one person. I would not pay $50,000 to meet Elon Musk.
Yeah, me either. Did your boy? It's not, by the way, it's not like you're paying them $50,000 and they're consulting for you, right? Like you're not going to
exactly.
Elon Musk and you're going to be
you're
like,
getting
hey,
a picture.
Your
you're
boys
shaking his hand.
Musk.
And you're like, how are you doing, bro? He's like, I'm doing good.
And he's going to tell you a story about something you don't care. You're going to tell him something he doesn't care, and then $50,000.
But you know what he did? He found some other retard to pay it with him. So,
did he really?
Yeah.
Did he get anything out of it?
He shook his hand. Literally shook his hand. He took a picture. It was like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and he paid $50,000 for that.
No, thank you, sir.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
Not Donald Trump. Not to me. No, I wouldn't pay anyone. Yeah, $50,000 to meet someone. That's ridiculous.
I would not pay $50,000 to meet Henry Ford, George Washington, Mother Teresa. Nobody. Jesus, I would not pay $50,000 to meet.
And that dude used to be able to turn water into wine. And even then, that's a very profitable business model, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
maybe that I'll take the meeting with Jesus for the $50,000.
Figure that business move out.
I pitch him on the business. Hey, have you ever thought about selling that fucking wine you make? And then Jesus and I go into a partnership. That's it.
And then Aileron has a subsection for wine.
That would be incredible. Jesus, it would be Aileron by Jesus.
A secondary brand.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so on the weekly on Rivian right now, we're getting momentum at the extremes. What we do like to see is that we're moving up and we're reclaiming this moving average right here. Usually, whenever we're moving down, like you see right here, we close below the moving average and then we get that big move down. Let's mark on a vertical line what happened with price. Right here. We lost the moving average right here. We lost it right here. Every single time we lost the moving average, we had a significant dump. From here, we went from around, what is this price? $26 to $14.92 whenever we lost that on moving average there. Here, we went from $39.80 to like around $40.
To 12, no?
We went from there to about like $12. Yeah, you got it right. Right now, we're still holding that moving average. We have about 4 days and 4 hours before it closes to keep holding it. If we still hold it, then the bullish hopium stays alive. On the opposite hand, we have right now the jewel flipping to neutral from buy signal. It's not that bad, like you see right here, where it was like vertical downwards. It just curved this way. If we can close above this 78.6 level, which is currently at, and actually we want to close above this, to be honest, the 5 EMA, which is at $15.15. If we can close above that, this will not switch to a sell signal, and this will stay as neutral. What the bulls want to see is they want to see it as neutral for the next close, and then after that we can switch it back to a buy signal. There is no chance there's no possibility that from here it will switch to a buy signal. The only possibility that from here it switches to a buy signal is if we close above this previous high right here.
No way.
At $24.50, which is almost impossible to happen. But if that were to happen, then we would switch from here to neutral to a buy signal, which almost never happens. I've seen it only happen like maybe a few times on any single asset. And the only asset I've ever seen a neutral signal flip to a buy signal is Bitcoin.
Well, yeah, volatility, right?
Yeah, because Bitcoin is the god for volatility.
Yeah.
And that was in October of 2023, whenever we dumped down to 26K. And then the next week we went up to 32. There is no asset other than Bitcoin that will do that. So right now, if I were to bet on this, I would say this is probably going to stay as neutral, maybe flip to a sell. I still hold it from $10, and I'm not planning to sell it like anytime soon, because I have targets upwards of like $40 or $50. And if I were to have to go down to a little bit of a loss, I would probably add to my position. Because in my opinion, I think my entry is pretty good.
Yeah.
Here's what I would add. Like if you were to come down here on the weekly, I think like the worst case scenario is that we would test this 38.2% level, which is around like $10.68. It's going to move up on every single closure, which is still higher than my entry. So I would add there, and I would also add right here the 50%. The 50% is the area you would want to hold if it's like a very strong uptrend. Like previously on all of these areas, we've held the 50% level before we reversed it to a downtrend. Right now, the 50% level is over here at $11.27. So I have two orders right now. I have an order at $11.50, and I have an order at $11, because I don't like to wait for the exact level. I like to front run a little bit, because it's happened to me a lot of times. I don't know about you guys, to where like I have an order at the exact level. It'll come down like maybe 5 cents above it, and then it'll reverse from there, and I get left on the sidelines.
Oh yeah, I'm phenomenal at that.
So I'd rather have my order filled like maybe 0.5% higher versus getting the exact order that I want.
Yeah.
But for the difference for me though is with Rivian, I'm not leveraged on it. A lot of people are like very highly leveraged, so it hurts them a lot whenever there's high volatility. Because I'm not leveraged, I'm not really worried about it. If I were to close it, I would have closed it like a close below this $9 range on the median. At that point, I would lose like how much percent would I lose? Because it's a spot. I entered at $10.30.
You're talking about like 5%, 6%,
like 10%. Like
10%.
I'm used to trading crypto, so 10% is a sneeze.
Nothing. Yeah.
So I wouldn't really care. But right now, I'm still looking at this to hold the 21, because it's still holding it every single time that it was on an uptrend. It held the 21. When we lost the 21, then we switched to a downtrend. So look at the monthly. I'm curious about the monthly. So the monthly right now is at this meme line's resistance. We didn't close above it. We're getting a rejection off it, but we're still getting support at the 9 EMA. On the monthly, let's turn off this HPDR so we can see the EMAs easier. On the monthly, ever since it started an IPO, we've been again below the 9 EMA. We reclaimed it one time. We held it as support. We went down, test this range here. We went back up. We closed above the 9 EMA. We deviated. We went back down to the support right here. Right now, we're still in a deviation of the support. While this support still holds, I will still have this as a target right here, around $37, $38. My sell limit right now is at $35. Because I bought in at 10:30. So if I were to sell at 35, that would be like a 300% return. But right now, my sell target's right there. But I would have a caution right here at the 21 EMA, which is around $20, $21. It's the same level that we saw on the weekly over here, which let's expand the weekly. Turn back on the HPDR. And that marks right at the 100% return range. Whenever I see the HPDR line up with my meme lines on the monthly and the weekly, that gives me the highest confidence trade that I could get. Because I'm combining the lines that tells you the support and resistance for psychology versus the it's very hard for me to say this word. Statistically.
Okay, statistical.
It's very hard for me to say that word. But yeah, whenever they line up, it gives you the very high confidence trade. So if you were to trade this right here, like if you had no position, you would have taken the trade at the 9 EMA, which was at $14.71, and you would have your stop loss right there. If it closes a single weekly candle below $14.70, you would cut it. Otherwise, you would target the 21 at 55. What is that? At $21.69.
Well, it's a moving average. You would probably do that on a close below the EMA, right? Rather than your fixed price.
And what I like to see about this moving average is lines up right here with this breakdown, where price tested it, it rejected, and then it tested again and it broke down. So whenever you see things like this line up with moving averages, it gives you a higher percentage confidence. If we close above this 21, then we can retest this second rejective high right here, which is right here at $50. I would not bet on that, and I would not even hold my stock anywhere close to that. I would bet that it goes somewhere around here. Maybe it makes a rejective high, retest this zone, and then we go somewhere around like these highs right here, where I have my sell limits at $35.
Now, to me, the question is, when do these companies actually go for a new high, right? And the reason why I have to ask myself that is because as we're seeing the consumer have less and less money and really just starting to, I don't know, it's kind of like the Biden thing, right? With the recession. The recession, the best way to explain it is just like how we noticed that Biden was old. One day at the Democratic at the debate, everyone decided that they were going to notice that Joe Biden was old as fuck and dying, right?
For the longest time, we've been saying that he has dementia.
Well, everybody knows. This is why it's weird. Everybody knows. But just like with recession, we all know this is going down. We all know. But no one was willing to admit it until last week, kinda, which is weird. But it's kind of like the same effect that we're seeing right now. So the question is, how the fuck is Rivian going to post a positive quarter in the next couple of months unless something outside of their hands happens, right?
I don't see it happening.
Yeah, me either. I don't understand.
My main indicator for these electric cars is Tesla. And right now, Tesla looks bearish as fuck.
Yeah. And
I couldn't see any planet where Rivian would perform while Tesla's going down.
No, you can't, because Tesla's an energy company, an AI company, and all these other fucking things. Whereas Rivian, it's legitimately a tech and car company. Yeah.
Whereas I've had so much shit, people telling me like I'm a retard when I'm like, Tesla is not a car company. Tesla makes like how much of their money from cars? They make more of their money from carbon credits, and they make more of their money from energy.
Solar, yeah.
So how are they a car company?
No, it's just that's how people know them. But yeah, it's true.
Right now on the weekly on Rivian, we have hidden bearish divergence, and we have 3 drives. We have a drive right here, one right here, and one right here. The easy target we've already hit, which is the median zone, which was at $13.71. If we lose this 21 EMA on the next close, that one is at $13.60. At that point, we have to target the bearish control zone. There's no way we don't hit that. And right now, that is at $8.23.
Ooh!
What we have to add confluence to that is on the weekly jewel, we're starting to flip over from a buy signal to a neutral signal, and we're getting volatility at extremes. The last time we had that was right here. We were flipping over and volatility was extremes. I'll mark a vertical line right here, and we can see what price did. Right there. Price moved from there at
holy shit,
$27.64 all the way down to $8. Right now, we had that same signal right here that we had before at $27. It's not confirmed yet because we don't have a weekly close. If we get a weekly close above this 21, then it would not confirm. If you get a weekly close below this 21, then it's going to not only confirm, but it's going to switch from a neutral to a sell signal. And then this hidden bearish divergence is going to play out. If that plays out, we're going to get a test here. I would expect a bounce here at $8 zone. From that zone, I wouldn't buy that what do you call that low? At that point, I would probably be considering closing half of my position. I wouldn't close the entire thing, but I would close half of it. And I would wait to see a bounce. If we close below this $8.09 low, though, on a weekly basis, then I would consider closing my entire position. But right now, I'm looking for, instead of closing my position, I'm looking to add it somewhere around $11.
Got it. And that's only if on the weekly you close below the 21 EMA.
Yeah. If you close below the 21 EMA, at that point, I'm on de-risk mode.
Got it, which is in 1367.
Yeah, right now, for now, I'm on higher low watch. I'm looking to add. But if we get that, then I'm gonna de-risk and I'm gonna get out.
Got it.
What's giving me this thing right here is giving me caution with the jewel and the neutral signal.
Yeah.
Because we don't really have that unless we're about to flip down. Every time we've had that, we flip down. What's not like, if we were curved like this, I would have closed right now. Like this and like this, I would have closed right now. The reason why I'm not closing right now is because it's more sideways. As you see. Yeah. It's flipping sideways. It's not really flipping down. If it starts to flip down, at that point, I would close it because this indicator right here, it has like a 70% hit rate. Whenever it flips down on the higher time frames, like weekly or above, it has it's very powerful. And at that point, you're probably going to lose, like on stocks, maybe like 15 or 20%, and on crypto, like easily 40 or 50%.
Holy shit.
So that's what's giving me caution right now. I'm still in Rivian right now. I still hold my entire position. I'm just cautious.
I'd say check this shit out. I think just the simple resistance, right, that kind of broke out and did a fake out to the upside. Mm-hmm. There's a good chance we're doing that again here.
Yeah, all we have is lower highs right there.
And again, this is a lower high. You're looking for a higher low, no doubt. You're on the fucking lookout zone for the higher low. But unless there's some kind of fucking intervention by governments, this has no reason why to make another high. None. They already did what put them in a nice place and all that stuff. And the same thing applies kind of like to Tesla, other than speculation on AI.
You know why I think there will not be an intervention?
Why?
Because Biden is a lame duck president. Nothing will pass under Biden.
Yeah, I think so too.
He already announced he's not running for re-election. Nobody in Congress has any incentive at all to support anything he pushes.
And he's kind of disappeared too. I mean, we saw a lot of Biden right before the debate, after the debate, and then after Kamala, he endorsed her. It's just kind of like we haven't heard much about Biden. I know he's meeting I know, yep, he is busy.
I'm not saying this to take a political side. I'm just giving like the facts. Like, he is not really doing anything.
I haven't heard much from him.
And plus, nobody in Congress supports him right now. Yeah, like the actual like the Democrats in the swing districts, the one who are in like the purple ones that can flip from Democrat to Republican, they're all denouncing Biden right now. Well, they're saying that we want him to drop out. They're saying that we want him to resign the presidency because they're in a very difficult place. Nobody, like anybody who has any chance of losing their seat in Congress, does not support Biden right now.
Yeah, how I look at it too is like Republican or Democrat, we all can agree. I mean, Biden kind of fucked the Democratic Party, waiting last minute, choosing Kamala. He was stubborn.
But was it him, or was it the actual party itself? Right.
Well, 100% wasn't him, but just for simplistic reasons, he's doing it. But we know it's not him because he was so stubborn through the whole time. He's not. At all.
You know who it was? It was Obama. It was Obama. The second Obama got against Biden, he dropped out.
Yeah, you saw that when he disappeared in Vegas, that he said he was having a medical emergency. What he was a coup d'etat, right? So it was really Obama, Nancy Pelosi, and someone else saying, we're going to declare you unfit to be president right now.
You know what the rumor was? What they were going to do if he didn't quit? They were going to start the 25th Amendment against him.
That's what I'm saying. That's what literally Seymour Hersh had said, and Seymour Hersh doesn't fuck around, in my view. I mean, he hasn't done it in a while. So,
and if they did that would have destroyed Biden's legacy.
What legacy? Just so that I know.
Right?
What legacy? If falling off of airplanes on the stairs.
That's been ruined.
I don't know about you guys. Have you ever had the campaign like volunteers text you?
Yeah. Oh no, I don't. I know.
That's happened to me a lot of times. I'll get texts from like Biden campaign. I'll get texts from Trump campaign. I'll get texts from RFK, and they're like, look at all of what President Biden has done. They're like Infrastructure Act. They're like COVID relief and all this shit. And I'm like, after that, what happened with inflation?
Yeah, we're all fucking dead. Nah, I hate politics.
The only reason I don't respond though is because I know they're volunteer and I don't want to be mean to a volunteer.
Oh, look at you. You're such a good person.
I'm a nice guy, right? I'm a nice guy.
I am terrible to all volunteers and everyone. I don't have time for your bullshit. Let me just get on with my life. All right, let me just put Rivian real quick and then we'll go on to the next one. Vale, pues estamos viendo Rivian. Rivian en este momento nos está viendo bastante bien. Farhan tiene su posición y esto es algo que nos dijo desde el principio. Él tiene su posición donde entró en 10, por lo que si ve que hay una caída por acá, probablemente agregue a su posición porque lo vería como una oportunidad, sobre todo si vemos el precio, básicamente hacer esto, rebotar aquí e irse para arriba. Eso nos validaría que un bajo más alto, el bajo más bajo, un bajo más alto y un bajo más alto. Eso es lo que estamos buscando en este momento. Queremos encontrar ese bajo más alto. Lo vamos a encontrar y nos vamos a topar con él. Obviamente nadie sabe, pero la realidad de esto es sencilla. ¿Qué es lo que queremos hacer? ¿Qué es lo que queremos que el precio de Rivian haga si es que somos alcistas en Rivian? Lo que queremos que el precio haga en Rivian, si es que somos alcistas en Rivian, es que aguante los 14.49. Que tenga un cierre semanal arriba de los 14.49. ¿Cuánto le falta para el cierre semanal? 4 días, 3 horas. Cuando volteamos a ver en la diaria, aquí nos pone en otra situación, porque en la diaria estás a nada de perder el S&P 200, que está en los 14.42, por lo que ese número es muy importante para ti. Y lo que no quieres perder definitivamente son los 369, que es donde está el EMA 100. Si ves eso pasar y vienes aquí a retestear esta zona de por acá, ¿no? Y vienes a retestear esto. Acuérdense que aquí hay un gap en la diaria, ¿no? Ese gap va a tener que cerrarse y ese gap está por ahí de los $12, por lo que hay una buena posibilidad de que venga a cerrar ese gap. Pero la posibilidad grande de esto y lo que no queremos ver si somos alcistas en Rivian es que nos rompa este bajo. Si nos rompe este bajo a la baja, probablemente te quieras deshacer de una parte de tu posición o empezar a hacerte la idea de comprar mucho más barato todavía, si es que tienes una posición muy barata. Quieres 100% quedarte encima de estos y ver cómo puedes volver a regresar a retomar el el IMA 21 y el 5. El problema que tenemos ahorita y lo que estás viendo es literalmente la economía. ¿No? Eso, en mi punto de vista, esto es lo peor que puede estar pasando en este momento. ¿Por qué? Porque tal cual vienes a pelearte acá y estás viendo cómo está haciendo un fake out y luego rechazado a la baja. Lo que puede pasar y lo que estaba viendo Farhan ahorita con sus indicadores es que esto puede caer aún más si es que rompemos esto. Así que, ojo, 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 una vez más. Estamos en una situación que la pregunta que nos tenemos que hacer aquí es sencilla. La pregunta que nos tenemos que hacer aquí es sencilla. ¿Por qué Rivian va a subir? ¿Qué es lo que le va a dar un incentivo a la gente a comprar más Rivians y que le dé mejores beneficios a Rivian como por cada coche que venda? Y la respuesta es, en esta situación donde estamos, con el desempleo a punto de estallar de acuerdo al Sam Rule, ¿no? Y que también estamos en recesión. Todo lo que estamos viendo en Japón, todo lo que estamos viendo en Asia y en el mercado americano y en cripto, me vienes a decir que la gente va a gastar más dinero en coches eléctricos, no sé qué tanto lo pueda creer y estamos viendo literalmente un rechazo en la misma tabla del precio tal cual como lo estamos viendo en este momento. Va a ser esto un poco más grande y de nuevo, esta es la gráfica semanal. Pueden verlo acá. Y si eso se llega a dar y no podemos aguantar los siguientes niveles, estaría pendiente acá esto. Así que espero que hayan sido los chidos que pudieron comprar y vender su posición rápida. Si estás holdeando a largo plazo, tal vez venga otra oportunidad, güey, y ya para poder agregar a tu posición. No es el fin del mundo, es simplemente de acuerdo a cómo lo veas y ajustar tu manera de verlo. Ok. What about Amazon, guys?
Let's take a look here.
Let's take a look at Amazon. Let me see myself.
Sir Bezos, let's see.
Ooh, boy. I mean, it on the weekly, it's pretty good what he did.
Where's my chart?
Let me take this off 1 second. Okay.
All right. Let me pull this up.
And bam. And bam.
Nice. So yeah, I mean, Amazon's looking very interesting. You see here the deviation here leading to the extended move down. One of my favorite shorts is right here. Actually, it's super easy when you get something like you reclaim a major level like on Tesla, flipping the support, but then it loses it. Where most go wrong with these deviation plays is they'll short all the way down here. And then the right way to do this is you just wait for the bearish retest, letting price tell you that this was resistance. And that's kind of what we got here. Lost to 9, rallied above it, hits our meme resistance, and then dumped. And same thing here. And so now what I see with Tesla is this was a strong weekly closure.
No, wait, Amazon.
No, Amazon. Right. No, this is the Amazon chart.
I know it is.
Monday things.
That's what I said. Yeah, Monday's fucking me up like crazy. Exactly.
No, yeah, literally. So Amazon's looking weak in the sense that this was a very big candle. I mean, down strong too. It closed with size. The hopium was that the support was going to hold, but you can see here once we get these rejections from this point, we haven't really seen price action hold this $165.50 region. Actually, we've just kind of seen it flip it into resistance, leading to the next leg down. And the idea would be we wanted something like that where it would have held support on this test down, but it did not. And then so this weekly, even though it's green, all I see here is a potential another bearish retest.
Yeah.
And that's at $165 and $165 to $164.70. And the idea would be something like this, even though we broke down whatever price can consolidate in this range, but overall something like this is kind of what I would assume is we get the rally up. Impressive candle on the weekly, even broke on above the major moving averages on the weekly. It was just this major resistance zone here, failing to flip it each time, rejecting, leading to the next move down. So that is something we have to not disregard. Whereas also, we have the 9 heavily above, giving bulls less steam that they're probably not going to be able to push this too much higher unless, right, we get a weekly back above $165.57. But on the flip side, though, Tesla's in a no trade zone on the weekly as it stands. Why I say that is we're just kind of in the middle here. What I'm really liking about the weekly, though, is we're getting a lot of confluence on this support zone I have here at $145.30 region. You can see the reactions here where this was resistance. Pumped up, dumped straight into it, flipping it into support, race on. So ideally, we'd want to see kind of the same reaction here, right around $145.30. Reaction meaning it would be nice to get a proper meme reversion bounce. We can see here price almost went into it, but still has some ways to go. So I would be looking at this into it as like a no trade zone, potentially rejecting here at $165, putting in that bearish retest, only for us to roll over and then maybe hit this major level, which, on the weekly, Amazon doesn't like to hit this too much. Each time it does, it's been basically a buying opportunity. Now, if we're relating the weekly SMA 200, which is stronger than the EMA 100, it's just nice that they both are kind of corresponding right by the same area, along with meme support. The issue here is, though, we just haven't really tested it. So the reaction is going to be very key. As it stands, though, Amazon. I don't know why I'm thinking about Tesla so much. No, Amazon, though, it's not looking the worst. I mean, until we lose this level here at $145, I wouldn't be too bearish on this. What bulls really want here is consolidation. Do I think we're gonna blast through and make new all-time highs? Probably not. But with the strength on Amazon, we have to assume that these levels are gonna hold until they don't, because that's just what the price history has told us. And anytime we get kind of like the combo essentially of the daily EMA and the daily SMA. It's been a big level. So, for us to be approaching that, that's something we all should be watching, because it's a very big inflection point on Amazon, especially on this weekly. So no trade zone for me. Honestly, I'd looked probably into shorting weakness at this $165 area, targeting that $145. If we lose that, yeah, I don't think that's going to be good at all. The reaction of simply losing the both levels here, right? Rallied up, hit the weekly EMA 100, fell below, tried to bounce at the weekly SMA 200, failed that. Now below both of them, led to a pretty nice dump on Amazon. So what we don't want is for something like that to happen where we lose this zone. But that's the weekly. If we go now on the daily, right? In the daily here,
oh boy,
the daily is not looking good, and it kind of corresponds with this being a bearish retest. And I say that because you see how this daily SMA 200, big level on Amazon, resistance here, rejection zone here, rejection zone there, support here, we're now pretty steadily below it. We've closed below it. We basically gapped down too. And so all this is telling me is this daily, even though it's green, we have major resistance here at this daily SMA 200, which is again lining up with this being potentially the bearish retest zone. So something to watch. Amazon's been in a very nice uptrend. It breaking this low here is not good, in my opinion. The low that was formed on April 25th, in my opinion.
Yeah, the 166, right?
Yes, exactly. Not good at all. It tells me that daily is probably in a downtrend at this point. And so what I'd be on watch now is that lower high potentially coming in right here, right? What was once major supporting the daily uptrends should now be flipped into major resistance. And, that's something I'll look into. Look at Amazon as that. And so if the daily can reclaim the daily SMA 200, great sign, right? But it's not over for bulls. They now need to go all the way up here and reclaim the daily EMA 100. We can get back above there. It's race on. We're bull mode. All is good. But until then, I see two major points where Amazon can reject. And the first one is coming up right at 168 to 165. Lines up too with our meme line resistance. And it also gives us more confluence that the weekly probably is going to come more down and actually hit this level. You have to think of it like a magnet for price. And, many people might, front run this, but with the weakness that we see, especially on the daily, it just gives me more confidence that any moves up here will probably reject and will probably easily go into this $145 range. If we hit that and price doesn't hold and we close weeklies below that, yeah, that would look extremely bad. So, and extremely bad because we haven't seen something like that in a very long time on Amazon. I just out of curiosity, let's see if there's ever been a point in time. Yeah, right here. Right in 2008. So
Of course.
that's
Of course.
interesting, right? So, right here has basically been the only time that we kind of lost it, because there wasn't really much data here. So this would be like the first time. This was the second, and so basically what I'm trying to say is, that's basically giving us more confluence that things are pretty fucked. So ideally, we want this level to hold, and luckily for everyone, it's actually kind of obvious. Like when I see this kind of setup here, where we have major moving averages on a weekly lining up with our meme line. It's kind of, anyone, it doesn't take a genius to see this level, back test it a little bit, see the relevancy of it, and then understand that this is a major level. So if we do lose it, we would then look at this point to be resistance, wherever these may come in.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Ahí les va la tabla de Amazon. Hang on a second. Actually, there you go. Okay.
You guys saw when Bezos dumped his Amazon stock?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Dude, come on. And he's been doing one after another at the same. He's way better than Elon. Elon is averaging down. Bezos is pretty good at hitting top. Same with Mark.
Bezos is a better trader than me. I can't lie.
What can I say? Mr. Bald Man, Mr. Clean, he's pretty good at what he does.
I gotta shave my head.
Maybe that's the secret. We just have to go bald.
You got to do a lot more than that. That'd be incredible if that was just it. Imagine that's the secret to it.
I don't think I'd go bald even for that.
Yeah. Oh, well, for $200 billion, I would. I would. No problem. I'm heading in that direction anyway. So
I'd do it for $1 billion.
Yeah, no shit. Estamos viendo Amazon. Qué vela tan potente en la semanal. Look at the monthly candle. La vela mensual está completamente potente a la baja. Vemos que está buscando la parte baja del canal. Lo tenemos en la semanal. Realísticamente hablando de Amazon, lo podemos ver cómo se metió en este canal literalmente en el 2016, ha llegado a la parte alta del canal varias veces, ha vuelto a retestear la parte baja del canal y aquí lo tenemos. Muy probablemente, honestamente, vayamos a retestear la parte baja del canal una vez más. No veo cómo no, y aparte también coincide con este nivelongo acá en la semanal. Entonces, eso es más o menos lo que estamos viendo en este momento. Quiero que vean esto. Voy a poner mis indicadores. Como el precio en la semanal de Amazon vino a recargarse en el EMA 100, pero el SMA 200 está aquí en los 145. Cuando ves varias cosas que se juntan en un solo lugar, normalmente el precio actúa como imán mientras más cosas tenga encima, y eso quiere decir que probablemente veamos los 145. Eso no quiere decir que Amazon esté jodido, pero muy probablemente lo ponga en una mala situación. No quieres romper esta zona. Si rompes esta zona a la baja, muy probablemente vayas a buscar tu siguiente objetivo en los $118. Déjenme, les pongo la diaria para que también tengan perspectiva de esto. En la diaria pueden ver cómo literalmente hemos caído del 21 y del 9. Hemos sido rechazados del 200 y estamos aquí abajo. Literalmente abajo de todo. Esto nos indica que muy probablemente vayamos a ver más downside todavía, pero en sí como tal puede aguantar siempre y cuando no rompas este bajo. Si rompes este bajo en los 145, es un punto pivote bastante importante y probablemente Amazon se siga yendo para abajo. Okay? You want to do XRP, Farhan? Wait, you're muted.
Farhan's favorite.
I am always muted. I said I would
muted
love.
is
I
his
would.
favorite.
There is nothing more than I would love than to do XRP.
You
Let's
always
go.
get it too. You literally always get it. That's funny.
Also, the 1 and 1. Yeah.
I am so glad I closed my trade right on XRP. So glad. I was feeling so much FOMO, and I was like, "Damn, I made 11K. I could have made so much more." I would be down like 20K right now if I had not closed it.
I'm glad you did. Well fucking done, sir.
Hey, maybe at least one time I can make money in XRP, right?
There you go.
Someone has to.
Someone had to do it. I am the chosen one.
Indeed. The XRP chosen one. I'm going to get you a robe that says that. I don't know why a robe, but it feels right.
I was looking quite strong last time I looked, especially the Bitcoin pair.
I haven't seen anyone other than me, to be honest. Maybe you have. I haven't seen anyone other than me who's been bullish on XRP.
No, me
maybe
either.
maybe because it's a complete garbage shitcoin that's worthless. Maybe that has something to do with it.
That could be it, no doubt. But I don't know. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick while you say this.
Right. You guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes,
right,
sir.
So we're gonna start with the monthly on XRP. Right now we had this this fib retracement that I drew. We kept rejecting at this meme line and finding support at this 23.6. We deviated a couple of times. Right now we're still below it. I would lean towards we're still deviating as long as we do not lose this low here at 38 cents. We've been holding this low at 38 cents since the past since April. For the past like 4 months we've been holding this low. Right now on the monthly momentum is not really telling us anything because it's kind of flipping sideways. It's like even right now. It's at the reset zone. After we had this move up here where we had this wick to 93 cents, that we tested again, this line here at like 77 cents, then we tested it again, like volatility kept sideways. So right now it's telling us that this is a corrective move and we're waiting for the real move to happen. Whenever volatility starts flipping up, then we'll know whatever direction that price is going in is going to be the move that's actually the real one, not the fake out. Right now, we have the jewel still on a neutral signal. It's not on a sell signal just yet. It was about to flip up to a buy signal before we had this move down. But right now, we're getting a little bit of a curvature down, which we really do not want to see. Like right here, we had a curvature down on the neutral signal, and then we ended up flipping to a sell signal. We're approaching the support right here at the slow moving average. And because we don't have enough data on here, we don't have the fast moving average. We only have the slow one. But if we lose the slow moving average, then I would say that we're probably going to break these lows over here at 31 cents, and we're going to retest this level here at around like 14 cents. But right now, I don't think that's going to happen. I feel like that's very unlikely because XRP is one of like I would say like 1% of the entire market of like garbage coins that actually makes higher lows on every single cycle. Every single market cycle, I'll switch to it so I can show you guys. Every single market cycle, XRP has made higher lows.
You're right.
Right here, it made a higher low. It made a higher low right here, higher low, higher low. We're still been making higher lows every single time in this market cycle. And the best thing I could say, like my best piece of advice, is you want to bet on the continuation of trend. You do not want to bet on the trend to reverse. You're a much higher odds of betting on the trend to continue than you are to reverse. We still have this pendant right here. We have not broken below it. To break below it, we'd have to confirm a weekly close below this green line, which is at 42.26 cents. If we were to close below it, then this move would be invalidated, and we would have an equal move to the opposite side. Which is my favorite part about these calculated moves is that if it fails, you can calculate it to the downside. And we would start from this rejective high right here, and we would go down to this line right here. And then we'd be able to get a calculated move from this break zone right over here. And that would take us right to these lows right here, which is around like 28 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what I love about these setups is that whenever you get these measured moves, whenever they line up with like these consolidation zones, it gives you more confidence that this is probably going to play out. But the only way this is going to be actionable, that this you can even consider this, is if we lose this low right here. As long as we keep this low, this is not something that you can consider. But based off of the right now, we have the jewel signal giving us a buy. We're above every single moving average. We have momentum still pointed up. We have volatility contracting. That tells us that while volatility is still pointed down, this is going to be a corrective move, and we should expect a move on the opposite end from there. If we lose this line right here, volatility will start flipping up, and this momentum is going to continue flip to the downside. You see this red line right here?
Mm-hmm.
The red line is the moving average. The red line tells you the direction where the momentum is pointed, and this right here is the actual momentum oscillator. Whenever this is testing the red line, it's telling you we're at support. If it closes below the red line, it's telling you we've lost support and the trend has shifted. Like right here, where we closed below support, we ended up testing down. Like it doesn't look that much, but this was quite a bit. This was around 30%.
Holy balls.
Right here, it's same thing happened. We ended up losing 46%. So it's a pretty significant shift if the momentum starts to flip down. We don't have that yet, and we still have the jewel on a buy signal. So for my setup, I would still look for higher lows in this. I would still be bullish until we lose this line. Let's go to the monthly. Right now, the monthly, we're still in this consolidation zone where we had before, where I drew this box, and we still have not broken this low, and we have not even touched this low. On the monthly, we still have a neutral signal, so we don't have what we'd want to see on the monthly. Like last time in November of 2022 on the bear market low, we ended up flipping to a buy signal from the neutral, and we moved up from there about 173%. So while this is a neutral signal, I wouldn't say that it's a short or a buy. I would say this is somewhere where you would take no positions and you would just watch to see where it played out. Like if you were to have long this, the best place you would have long this was right here in this consolidation zone at 50 cents. Back when I was begging everybody to long XRP.
Yeah.
But now it's too far gone. And if you go down to the daily, right now daily is trying to find support somewhere here in this zone. It tested down to the bottom of this box. It found support right here. Right now we have momentum pointed very heavily towards the downside. We have volatility pointed up, and we have a heavy sell signal on the jewel. The hopium for the bulls is that this low is higher than this low, while momentum is lower than this low. So if this can confirm as a local low, this will be a hidden bullish divergence in the daily. and that would give us targets of these highs right here above around like 62 or 63 cents. But the only way to confirm that is we need to close above this open, 2 closes, and that would be at 52.29 cents. We get 2 closes above that, then I would say that we can target this range right here. I wouldn't be able to tell you if we're going to close above it. I would just say we're going to target, because you see this diagonal line right here. This has been support, the resistance this whole time in support. So I would expect that we would find some resistance here. If we can close above this diagonal line, I would say we're back onto the upside, and I would retarget by 95-cent target on XRP. But as long as we're below this diagonal line, I would say that that 95-cent target is a pipe dream, and we're probably going to keep going down towards this 37, 35-cent range. But for now, we're still holding. We're still holding on every single time frame. We're holding the monthly, we're holding the daily, and the weekly. To me, XRP looks a lot stronger than Bitcoin, which you do not want to see. You don't want to see altcoins looking stronger than Bitcoin. You want
It's just weird.
Yeah, you want to see Bitcoin carrying the move. Whenever we have like a bull trend, Bitcoin is carrying the market. The second Bitcoin stops carrying the market, we get a complacency bounce, we get a higher, lower high, and then we end up going into the bear market. So right now, I am not ruling out that Bitcoin can consolidate somewhere in the 40s. Maybe altcoins have a little bit of a run. Everybody gets bullish because most people are into altcoins. Bitcoin is too expensive for most people to get into. So most people will buy shitcoins. That's why when Bitcoin is moving up to 73K, the only people who were really making money were the ETFs and the institutions. The people in retail, they were not really making money because they were in shitcoins and they were not moving while Bitcoin was 73K.
Yeah.
So right now, like the only scenario I can see is that the best case scenario for XRP is that this place continues to hold while Bitcoin consolidates in the 40s, and then we just go sideways here from the next like 6 months, 8 months. If we can reclaim this 52.29, at that point, I would re-enter the size that I just closed in, and I would target these highs over here. I would close half of it over here. I would have my stop loss right here at this 200 SMA, which is at 53.50. By the next couple of closes, is going to move up. I'm guessing it's going to be somewhere around this previous wick low right here at 56 cents. I would have my stop loss right there. After I've closed half over here, I would still be in profit and still be in a little bit of like not really like a loss, because of the fees. Like you're not in a loss, but you lose money because of the fees. But because I closed half over here, I wouldn't feel as bad. So the only thing I could recommend is that right now XRP, you don't take any trades. I wouldn't open anything right here. I would just look for this reaction on this next weekly close. Hopefully we can get 2 closes above this box. If we get 2 closes above this box, then I would say that we're probably going to retest this zone, or 1 close above over, what is this zone right here?
It's 52.29. That's what you were looking at.
Yeah, no, this other one. It's 2 closes above 52.29.
Yeah.
1 close above 57.77. 1 close above 57.77, and I would say that bottom is in, and we're going to go to new highs on this rally from here. 2 closes above 52.29. That's how you can be more aggressive or more conservative.
Got it.
I'm personally a more aggressive trader, so I would take it above the close above this box.
That you are, my friend.
Yeah, you know, I'm a gambler. I'm a degenerate gambler. If somebody's less degenerate than me, they would wait for this close right here above 57.77. I'm personally going to long it if we get a daily close above this 52.29.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll lose some money, but we'll see. It is what it is.
I'm not going to say anything, but most likely.
Yeah, I'll probably listen. My motto is, it be what it be. It is what it is.
It is what it is, son. What the fuck are you going to do? Ok, estamos viendo XRP rápidamente, y para no hacerles el cuento tan largo, lo tenemos en la mensual. Para que tengan una idea de lo que está haciendo el precio, esto va desde marzo del 2017, ha estado consolidando en este triángulo. En la semanal, los quiero traer acá. Como pueden ver, XRP es una de las pocas cosas que sigue siendo bajos más altos a través del tiempo. Básicamente, y lo único que creo que es importante en esta situación, de acuerdo a lo que nos dijo Farhan, es lo siguiente. ¿Qué es lo que queremos para hacer alcistas en esto? ¿Quieres que esta chingadera cierre arriba de los 52.27, los 52.29? ¿Dónde están los 52.29? Básicamente aquí. Quieres cerrar arriba de esto 2 veces seguidas, y con eso te va a sentir bastante bien para irte para arriba. Ahora, ¿quieres que te dé una confirmación rápida alcista? Buscar un cierre arriba de los 57.7. pero la realidad es que va a estar bastante difícil en este momento poder llegar ahí. Es más o menos acá. Esto. De otra manera, todo está como moviéndose de lado y tiene cara de que quiere seguir, ahora sí que quiere seguir consolidando precio de lado, como lo podemos ver. Estamos en estos momentos abajo del SMA 200, EMA 100 y también de los EMAs 21 y 9. Así que tenemos que esperar a poder tener un buen cierre aquí arriba, pero si no va a seguir consolidando y lo único que no quieres ver es que haga un bajo más bajo del punto 38. Si ves eso, muy probablemente un buen short sería de acuerdo a la orden, pero como tal, XRP sigue de hueva, así que felicidades a todos los que tengan un poco de XRP. Okay, can we check out NNE?
NNE, what is that?
That's a great question. Let me see. Nano nuclear energy.
Oh, I love nuclear energy.
Yeah, same. It's the fucking shit. Except they won't let us use it.
Fuck windmills. Fuck solar power. Nuclear energy is where it's at.
We had it. We always had it. And now we're fucking ruined by these idiots.
What's really funny, though, is that I used to be one of those guys who used to be really into like a solar and wind and all that shit. Do you remember when you posted on your website, solarmonitor.com, where you were like about how this is the scam about green energy?
Yeah.
Where we need to go?
Yeah.
I actually disagreed with that point. I commented on there, but you never responded. And I was like, here's why I disagree. But now I realize that you were fucking right.
So, and I'm old. That's all I know. I'm not right. I'm just old. I've seen it. These motherfuckers have tried for a long time. And I just talk to smart people. That's basically what gives me all of the insights to everything I need to know. Those people, people that work in the same industry, people that are working in renewables, they even tell you, like, no, dude, there's nothing better than nuclear. And then you ask them, then why is nuclear not everywhere? It's like,
because people are retarded.
Well, they use their retardedness against them. That's what they did. So they can steal $50 trillion from the 70s all the way to now in incentives to go green.
You know that the infrastructure package they passed, I think it was last year, they passed the infrastructure package. If they would have put that money into nuclear, we would have probably had so much more increase in
yeah. But why did we make also all of Europe get rid of their nuclear, right? Like this is what we do. We destroy and then we claim to build so we can give ourselves the money to build. And that's how they steal.
Germany got rid of their nuclear back when Trump was warning
France.
them. They were like, you're gonna be a puppet for Russia if you get rid of this. And the German delegation was literally laughing at him.
Yeah, same thing with France, dude. Like I don't understand. It was just fucking retarded. But hey, congratulations to everyone in Europe. Everyone in Europe is really fucked. We think we have it bad. Like those guys are fucked.
Yeah.
Alex, you're doing NNE?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
There's a reason why I call them Euro pores.
That's terrible. But it's a big reality, to be honest with you. It's really sad how fucked. When I was young, I wanted to move to Europe so bad. And now you couldn't pay me to move out there.
I've been wanting to move to Italy for the longest time until I actually spent 2 weeks in Italy.
Well, yeah, with the toilets like this big.
Then I was like, fuck this shit.
There's no water everywhere.
There's no AC. There's no ice.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah. You just got to get used to it.
I go back to America. I switch on my AC. I bleed red, white, and blue.
That's true. It is pretty fucking nice. This is NNE. Yeah. We had already charted this, no?
Yeah, we did.
I have it.
Yeah, I had some lines on it. So so nano nuclear energy, we're on the weekly here. Not a lot of data on this chart, but why I brought the weekly up isn't to show the 9, but it's mainly to show the reaction kind of once the support was gone. And once we closed here, you could see it tried to hold support. It was a nice bounce, but it deviated here and lost it. And this was not a lot of data on the chart, but this was an area that price liked to at least get bounces from. And then the reaction this month now, or last month essentially, was the follow through. So what we're dealing with now is just basically we're kind of in the middle on the weekly. And the the ranges I have on this weekly are $6.30 to potentially $10.50. So we're just settling in the middle here. Let me go to the 2-day, and let's try to see if we can get a different point of view here. So this 2-day, in my opinion, it makes sense that it's been 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It's been 12, 14 days of just pure downside. So ideally, it would make sense to get some kind of bounce. In my opinion, I would look at this $10 region potentially to be resistance. We saw that here, nice rejection, and then also it was a nice breakout zone. So I would look at this area here at $10.60 to act as resistance. If price can get it back above, okay sign. But then if we go to the daily here, we have the 9, which has been just a perfect rejection point each and every time this has had any kind of mean reversion bounce. It's just been a rejection zone, not even being able to get above it and deviate. It's just reject straight off of it. So I would look for NNE basically to probably still come down more. I would look at it to probably still have another leg down to this $6.50 region, maybe $7. But overall, that's kind of where it looks to be heading. And then ideally, the hoping would be that this 9 can come down more, maybe to match this meme resistance, or at least hit more around that $10 region, solidifying that this will probably be a big area for price. But until then, the daily doesn't look good, and there's not really much you can, in my opinion, do off of this other than wait. I think waiting, in my opinion, is probably just the best with this, because you're not forced to buy a stock here that has just such an aggressive daily downtrend, and it's shown you that each time. Each rally has essentially resulted in each nice rally has resulted into just another lower high leading to a lower low. So if we do get a bounce into this zone, I would just look at that as the same thing that's been going on. The 9 is telling you this is strong resistance on the daily. So instead of front running it, you would look at bounces into the 9 just to be shorted. Now, if the daily can get above the 9, that will start looking good. In my opinion, that would kind of break the that would have the potential to break the downtrend for sure, give us momentum and legs and an actual support for people to bid, and then get some structure on this chart, because as it stands, it just looks like death.
Yeah.
We have the nuke down, we have the rally up. This high basically was just the lower high, and then we basically just fizzled out the entire way, giving bulls basically only mercy pumps, basically just very shallow, tiny pumps into straight resistance, and each and every time resistance is won. So that's how the daily looks. The 4-hour, I'd imagine, it doesn't look the best either. No trade zone. I would still look for maybe a bigger bounce at this $6.30, $6.50 region. But any bounces, you have to then look at the daily EMA 9 as a resistance, which is currently coming in right in that $10.60 region. So then that's just the area I would look to either short. No, the daily is coming in at $12, the EMA 9. We have a resistance at $10.60. So bull hopium would be we get some kind of range right here. We just start kind of ranging and consolidating, allowing this 9 to come properly more down, at least giving us more of a chance to maybe break it, reclaim it. But any rallies up into that would be shortable. And the invalidation is easy. I mean, if this decides to reclaim it, you can just cut it and start longing it. Now you have some levels, but when you're playing something like this that's just going down only, like if I was to long this here, this would just make me feel uncomfortable because I don't know really where I'm wrong. I already know I'm wrong. It's already in an aggressive downtrend. So at this point, it's just more like throwing rocks, into the abyss and hoping you see something. I always say just let price action come to you.
No, you
When you have when you have a 3-month chart that looks like this, there's literally no point to be impatient. There's no point to feel FOMO, because this is just terrible. So Yeah, that's what my analysis is on this.
Thank you, sir. Vale, pues les voy a poner esto. Esto es NNI. La realidad es que lo tengo en 4 horas, pero lo voy a poner en la diaria, ¿ok? Y esto es toda la actividad que hay en la tabla. No creo que vean la necesidad de que lo pongamos en la mensual, ¿no? Que parece un pequeño pene con 2 bolitas, o tampoco en la semanal, que es básicamente lo mismo. Lo voy a dejar acá en la diaria para que puedan ver bien exactamente todos los niveles de soporte. 1, tienes un alto más bajo que este. Esto está en una tendencia bajista. Aunque hay pocos datos, puedes ver cómo le gusta el precio estar encima del EMA 9 y cada que lo recuperamos, ganamos terreno. Cuando perdemos, llegamos hasta acá abajo, ¿no? Sabemos que esto es el fondo y que no va a volver a ser otro fondo. Explícame por qué. No lo sabemos, no tenemos ni idea. Lo que probablemente sea la jugada para hacer en esta tabla es esperar a que el EMA 9 baje, y esto es si lo estás viendo en la diaria. Si lo es en la de 4 horas, puedes ver que ya está aquí en los 10, donde tienes más confluencia con esta línea. Entonces, te voy a poner en la diaria rápidamente. Y aquí lo que quieres esperar, un trade sencillo sería, una vez que esto suba y que vaya a buscar el EMA 9, hacer un short ahí y poner tu invalidación con la vela que está al lado para arriba. Para hacer un long todavía no tienes nada acá. Una vez que puedas retomar el EMA 9, ¿no? Y que empieces a ver que está cerrando encima por 2 días seguidos, te puedes sentir lo suficientemente bien para decir, ok, voy a meter un longcillo para irme por acá. Pero por ahora no te está dando ninguna señal de que esto es bueno y te dice que va a rankear entre 6, $10 antes de tal vez perder el piso y seguir el camino para adelante. Esto es una acción muy nueva, es muy difícil poder entender con tan pocos datos, básicamente es la cosa. Y ahora, craft. Before we do craft, do you guys want to do a quick plug?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. We should. Let me make sure I'm sharing the Discord and not the fucking stupid ass chat. 1 second. Let me make sure. Discord, and I'm going to read the link this time around. It says Discord. Les acabo de poner aquí en pantalla el Discord que tenemos para que vengan a platicar con nosotros, puedan aprender con nosotros en Elite Trading Academy. Y cuando digo nosotros, más bien digo de estos maestros, ¿no? Yo qué, ustedes vengan a aprender de estos tíos. Ya saben que aquí se pone buena la fiesta. Voy a compartir con ustedes rápidamente. Estamos aquí, este es el Discord. Aquí Alex pone sus análisis, Farhan pone los suyos. Tenemos también el lugar de hola, tenemos también la general. Acá tenemos PNL para que compartas con nosotros cómo le estás rompiendo como este tío. Bien hecho ahí, bien armado. Excelente short, perro. Y tenemos acá nuestros links. Si quieren un exchange que funcione en Estados Unidos, les dejamos Bluffing. Si quieren un exchange que funcione internacionalmente y requiera KYC, les dejamos BitGet. Bluffing es bastante sencillo y de nuevo no requiere KYC. Y también si quieren usar TradingView y llevarse descuentos, les dejamos acá TradingView. Acuérdense que todos estos enlaces tienen varias promociones al mismo tiempo, así que aquí los veo. Perfecto. No se olviden venir al Discord de estos tíos, es completamente gratis para que se vengan a dar una vuelta y aprender con ellos. Así que es todo lo que quería decir. Voy a dejar de compartir. All right. We were saying craft, and I think we can end it there. 1 second. Let me see. I'll bring Farhan down with his empty chair. And craft. NNE. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find this. There you go.
Same.
Kraft Foods.
Kraft Science Company.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see.
Oh, no. It's making an regular head and shoulders. That's tremendous.
What time frame?
On the daily. Probably on the weekly too. Let me see. No, on the weekly it's not so bad. Let me see. It's trying. On the weekly too. Let me look at the monthly. That'd be savage. No, on the monthly's not. On the monthly's no, on the monthly's not. But the other time frames, it is. It's trying. It's trying to ruin everything for everyone.
Yeah.
By the way, what
So,
terrible. Like this has been ranging in like the
yeah.
same fucking range since 2019.
Yeah, no, literally. Um, let's pull this up because this shows it kind of nicely. It's been very boring for Crafts Company,
Well
honestly.
said.
And you know, you kind of see that if we go, let's do the 5-day. So let me see, is my chart up? Yeah, perfect. So you know, you kind of see this like breakdown, nice aggressive breakdown, and then since then, right, since 2020, we've just essentially been ranging company. Don't know anything fundamentally, but the charts, yeah, we've just been ranging. Anytime we've had this like false breakdown, it's been quickly bought up. And so that's kind of what we're seeing here now. We had on the 5-day this false breakdown here. Um, you know, the nice welcoming sign is so the 5-day formed some kind of double top. We came all the way down. At least here, I can say we didn't break the low. And so what bulls really want is we need to break these highs here that we formed. That would be a welcoming sign and will give us probably fuel to reach this range high again at 41.95. You know, it's an interesting thing to view this chart because in this range, you see anytime we've like gotten above it just by a little bit on the 5-day closures, um, you know, it's quickly deviated here as well. And then here it got weaker and we just sold down. Like each time it seems like it gets above, it gets weaker. So in my opinion, when I see these kind of moves where, you know, it's 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, oftentimes, and at least for Bitcoin, there's like a power of threes. So usually once we break that, we probably push back up. I'd be confident that this could probably break and not break, but at least hold this $41.84 region. But that's a
Really?
total
When
assumption.
you're getting three lower highs?
Yeah, and you can see it's you don't need much. You just need a little bit of structure to start squeezing this up.
Got
When
it.
you kind of because why people get really accustomed to deviated short, cool. This one short, rallied up, rejected short, and it's worked. It's worked every single time, and at least in Bitcoin's cases, that's mainly what I watch 24/7. When you get these kind of moves in a range like this. I bet you, and I wonder if the Bollinger Bands are getting tight as well. Um, you know, because it can act as like just a nice place for, I guess, people to get stopped out. It's easy, lots of liquidity up here. Um,
Mhm.
but right, total assumption until we get some kind of at least momentum, which would be breaking this high here. If price can break this high that it formed on April 19th, which sits at $38.96, I do think we could get a nice squeeze up. And then this will be a very telling area. Now, you know, it could still happen the same way where, you know, it taps it and rejects because it has been telling you it's resistance.
Yeah.
But right, eventually something will break here, either down or up. Um, and you know, the more times as well we hit resistance, the weaker it gets. I wanted to throw the Bollinger Bands. I don't know why they're not showing. Let me delete. Go to indicators here. Go to my Bollinger Bands. Yeah, my trading view has been totally glitching out here. Um, Maybe you could throw the Bollinger Bands up because for some reason, even though I pay for the membership, it's telling me I can't have 5 or more indicators, but I don't have that. So very strange. Let me just show. I won't delete that. Whatever. But usually when you see what I wanted to show essentially was usually when you see these kind of like ranges, it's probably means the Bollinger Bands are getting tight, which can play into giving just more confluence that when we reach a certain level, you know, on the chart, like be it this high here, it can give like at least a lower time frame squeeze up. But that's the 5-day. And right now, if we're using the 5-day, it is at resistance currently. So, you know, it gives when I see also the, you know, 5-day EMA 9, 5-day SMA 200 right around this area, which matches with this high here. You know, once price gets above here and starts holding it, you know, I really could see it start moving up once we break this high. But until then, it is resistance um, until proven otherwise. And we are seeing that rejection here. Um, but it is still above the 9. So that is the hopium here. This could be some, you know, bullish reclaim, essentially, failed breakdown. kind of like what we saw here, gave it the momentum, stalled out here at the 5-day EMA 100. So ideally, that's the area I'd be watching for. If you're, I like the 5-day sometimes. It can kind of put it more nicely than like a daily. Let's check the daily though too. The daily.
Give me a second before you go into the daily. Let me show you this. You wanted to see the Bollinger Bands? Are you seeing?
Yeah.
Wait. Where's my fucking screen? Is that my screen?
It is your screen.
Where the fuck is this?
But it's the Mexican peso.
Peso?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I see the problem.
It is. I am curious to see like how the Bollinger Bands are on the higher time frames. Like
there you go. That's on a 5-day.
So you can see that, right? Like it's like when you get these ranging moves, the Bollinger Bands will start getting tight. And that's big. That is something to, like I wonder what the top of that band is. Let me see.
What is 44.59?
Yeah, 44.59
on the outside. On right now, as it is 42.94, and the bottom range is 30.70.
Interesting. So ideally, what bulls want is you form some structure on the lower time frames. You don't break the low after we came down again. Potentially a higher low, unconfirmed though. We need the higher high. But when I see something like this, especially when the Bollinger Bands are tight, it can get more confluence, right? The more bulls consolidate this, and it's dumping and losing support, but slowly just trekking up, maybe coming down, forming another higher low. This just causes the bands to get tighter. I don't find it a coincidence how that band's almost lining up the top of it with this resistance zone here at 41.84, which has been the deviation zone each time. So it just kind of plays into when markets or something like this is consolidating for as long as it has been, ranging even. It makes easy trades by support, sell at resistance, short resistance down. But also, this is where people just kind of log off, disregard something before all that volatility, makes everyone interested again. So that is interesting to me. As it stands up, still resistance. We're at resistance now. Ideally, we want to get back above on the 5-day, 37, in my opinion, which is closing in on the 5-day, it's closing in a day. But on the daily, right, the daily is looking quite interesting to me because you can see here, the daily looks like it, had a breakout. We see here that the daily SMA 200 now is getting back tested while wicking off the 9 and the daily EMA 100. Just to me, signaling that strength. If this daily can hold the daily SMA 200, even though it's red, to me, that would still be the consolidation bulls want to see. As long as it's above the major moving averages, while above this meme support after deviating it, that's a great sign. And lower time frames, right? We have to like think in the future as a trader. So even though we are in an aggressive downtrend here, we want to see constructive price action, which is this, right? This low here didn't break this low, and then this high here got broken out here. So that's what we want to see. But really, where I'm saying price can really start moving is if we break this high.
Yeah.
I would be confident that we'll probably get a squeeze up to here. And the fact that we've deviated so many times, people get accustomed. I'm sure shorts have just been having a free ride on this in this range, essentially. It will eventually break. And we know that theoretically it will because of the Bollinger Bands. So interesting chart overall.
Are you able to pull up an RSI on the chart?
RSI?
Yeah.
On this one?
Yeah, on Craft.
Wait. I can. Can you, Alex?
On the daily. Or I can pull up mine.
RSI,
you should look at Craft actually on your HPDR. I'm interested to see if the momentum here is pivot or the jewel is flipping to a buy.
All right, so right here on the daily on Craft on the volatility, this is the BBWP. As we looked at before, the Bollinger Bands, the BBWP stands for Bollinger Bandwidth Percentile. So it gives you like whenever the Bollinger Bands like contract, and you can see that you're about to have a big move, it's like it doesn't give you an exact number. So right here, the indicator that I prefer to use, it gives you a number. So right here, we're at 98.81% volatility.
of like how much tight it is, right? Like how much volatility there is within. Okay.
Whenever volatility is this high, you can't really expect any big moves from there. You'd expect for volatility to contract back to normal. You see right here, when you have volatility at the reds, we consolidated for a little bit. Right here, we consolidated for a little bit. Right now, we're at the reds. The difference is above that, between these, we're still above the 200 SMA, like Alex was saying. But we have a bearish engulfing right here, so it's like it kind of goes both ways. But like I was saying, with the RSI, is that we're still in the bullish control zone on the RSI. So we would expect this zone right here to hold, which is the entrance of the bullish control zone. If we lose this zone, then it's not bullish anymore. But as long as we're in this zone, in my opinion, it's still bullish in the RSI.
Got it.
Clean.
Interesting. Thank you for that. I had no idea. I'm gonna remove mine now. Ok. Estamos viendo Kraft, básicamente, rápidamente. El símbolo es KHC. Y esta es la compañía de comida, obviamente, que les digo. Voy a echarme una miradita para atrás para que todos ustedes puedan verlo con un poco más de perspectiva. Voy a ponerlo en un mes para que tengan una buena visión de esto. Yo no sabía que Kraft apenas en el 2015 se hizo pública. No creí que llevaba mucho más tiempo pública. Pueden ver entonces esto como tuvo el pico y básicamente ahí del 2017 se fue al mega nepe. En el 2019, 2020, aquí tienes el bajo y este fue el pico del 2021 junto con este, ¿ok? Es lo que estamos viendo. Los voy a llevar a la tabla de 5 días y aquí voy a ajustar. Creé este canal para que puedan ver el precio entrar después del bajón. Dentro del mismo canal podemos ver lo que ha hecho el precio aquí. Ha tocado la parte alta del canal. Eso quiere decir que shorts, chido. 2, otra vez los shorts, chido. Y cada que sube a este tipo, y aquí ya no se las vendieron tan fácil a los shorts, es eso, que subes, bajas. ¿Y qué está creando? Está creando altos más bajos. Lo que yo diría, bueno, esto se ve mal. Y acá estás creando bajos más bajos. Aunque aquí este fue tu bajo más bajo porque este es un bajo más alto. Y acá podrías decir que estás viendo algo inverso, etcétera, pero no, en realidad no. Ok, es lo que estás viendo en este momento. Normalmente cuando ves el precio hacer esto, está consolidando para poder, ¿cómo se dice? Crear más volatilidad. Y lo podemos ver acá con los Bollinger Bands, que es lo que Alex nos había pedido que pongamos, para que vean cómo se aprietan las bandas. Cuando las bandas están abiertas no hay volatilidad, cuando las bandas se cierran hay volatilidad, lo que te está diciendo que va a haber volatilidad. Esto quiere decir, teniendo las bandas así tal cual y buscando la media, pueden ver que la media de esto está en los 36.93, es básicamente lo que queremos hacer, queremos poder cerrar arriba de esto, pero de que se va a poder ya será otra historia, mis queridos hermanos. Lo que nos dice Farhan ahorita que sacó su índice de volatilidad es que mientras estos movimientos existen y la volatilidad está tan arriba porque en su indicador él la puede medir, es 98% en vez de solamente ver las bandas para ver qué tan apretado está el pedo básicamente. Cuando ve la volatilidad así de ruda, lo que dice es no vas a tener movimientos extremos, lo que tienes que hacer es seguir consolidando. La idea aquí es que puedas consolidar por acá, y que empieces a tomar estos saltos, que empieces a tomar estos saltos, que empieces a tomar estos saltos. Una vez que empieces a pasar de estos, por ejemplo, aquí el nivel de los 41.36, se va a ver bastante bien la cosa. La cosa es que has estado cayendo cada que creas un nuevo alto y esto es más bajo. Pero una vez más, este alto es más alto que este. Este bajo es más alto que este. Entonces, empieza a verse bien la cosa y es cosa de paciencia. Estás en un no trade zone donde está parado el precio en este momento. Estás en medio de la nada. Así que la oportunidad se va a presentar abajo de acá, pero también lo puedes ver con tus EMAs donde exactamente se va a dar las mejores oportunidades de compra. Estás encima, discúlpenme, estás encima del EMA 20, el amarillo es el 21, el 5 está aquí abajo, esto es lo que te dice, ok, aquí hay un buen chance, pero tienes que tomar el EMA 100 y el SMA 200. Una vez que te le trepes al SMA 200, vas a tener probablemente, si no es un fake out como este, una excelente probabilidad de ver el precio subir a la alza. Por ahorita nada, un poco de consolidación de precio, pero simplemente pon tus EMAs, préndelos y para que veas, te voy a poner en la diaria para que también tengas una buena idea. Aquí puedes ver cómo en la diaria se ve mucho mejor que todo. El SMA 200 está aquí abajo, el EMA 100 está aquí abajo en rojo, el 9 que es el verde y el 21 que es el amarillo está encima de todo eso. Entonces, cada que lo vemos sobrepasar esto, tiene buenos pumps. Vamos a ver si podemos lograr buscar que nuestro siguiente objetivo son los 39.97. Es lo que queremos romper. Y si no, tienes la parte alta del canal para intentar hacer un short, pero algo que me dijo Alex es, como cada vez que ha tocado la parte alta ha funcionado y luego la parte media del canal ha funcionado, probablemente no se deje de hacer básicamente tan sencillo el poder adivinar esto, ¿ok? Es básicamente todo. All right, boys, this is 5 hours. I think we're good to go. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about, show, etc.?
No, very fine. You're muted.
Oh, really, Farin?
Other than trade with us on Bluefin, I can't think of anything else.
Well said. Well said. I think other than people visiting our exchanges, our links, make sure to visit our Discord. And again, I'm posting the Discord right now, so there's no excuses for you. Come check out the Discord. It's absolutely free. There's a lot of people there, and I see them also with setups and anything that they're trying to do, whether it's a question, how to do a setup for a short, for a long, what is what. Everyone on the Discord, aside from Alex and Farhan, they do a hell of a job just explaining to everyone everything.
Yeah,
so
we have a good community on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go check it out. Go talk to the guys. They got your ass. And I'm going to say it in Spanish so that everyone knows. Nos vamos, pero les vamos a dejar aquí el Discord donde Farhan y Alex están, pero también toda la comunidad se me ha hecho buenísima. Este fin de semana estuve ahí viendo qué estaban haciendo, sugiriendo ideas y entre todos estaban ayudando para crear setups, explicando qué significa qué. Así que vale la pena bastante solamente ir al Discord. Es completamente gratis para poder no solo platicar con ellos, pero también aprender de los demás. Ahí están todos y traen una excelente actitud. Ahí mismo dentro de esto les dejamos lo de los exchanges. Aquí tenemos, por ejemplo, Bluffin, que es nuestro exchange americano que no requiere KYC, y también está BitGet, ¿ok? Para que cualquier cosa aquí puedan hacer sus trades mágicos. Les mandamos un fuerte abrazo, cuídense mucho. Estos tíos son Elite Trading Academy. Gracias por todo. Thank you, boys.
Thank you, guys. Yeah,
thank you so much.
Very good one.
Fun stream. I enjoyed it.
Fun stream. I'm exhausted. Have a good one, guys.